Hola. Oh, wait a second. Where's my intro? There it is.
And you ain't black.
There we go. Now that is a proper intro. What up? What up? What up? Peace to the Middle East. How are we doing today, guys? I figured it out for Thursdays. You know what we're gonna call Thursdays? Therapeutic Thursdays. How's that sound? How does that settle on the tongue? Does that roll off the tongue? Therapeutic Thursdays, because we're gonna get a dose of reality today. You hear me? I told y'all I'm gonna get this whole theme. I'm gonna get this whole theme together for every day of the week. All right. Each day is going to be its own theme. How does that sound? Therapeutic Thursdays. That's what we're gonna ride with today. I got my incense here, guys. I love my incense. They just calm me down, you know, especially after a long, tumultuous day. You know, you just want to kind of sit back. Some people have their own way of kind of calming down and relaxing. You know, mine is incense, lighting up an incense and just sitting back and, you know, on my think tank and just relaxing. I love it. Who do we have in the building? We got Latifa. What's happening? How are you, Latifa? How are you? You're new. I don't think I've run across you before. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. We got Lee in the house. Lee, I'm glad you're here, man. Bless you, bless you. Kazi, how are you? How are you? How are you? Guys, we're going to get into it. I hope everyone's doing well. Much love and positivity going out your way. Hope everyone's doing great. Jeff, how are you? How are you? Old souls in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, like the video. Please like the video. It is the metric by which YouTube uses to push out the content. Okay, so in order to get this content of mine circulated, we have to hit that like button. That triggers the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Latif. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Karen is in the house. How are you, Karen? I hope all is well. Jay, yes, last night. How about last night? I know you guys have some questions about last night. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I will say that it was just a total misunderstanding. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. All right. Brian, what's up? How are you? Ed, we got Ed in the house. Guys, I'm seeing some new faces here. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. It is The Real Unwoke. Again, it's The Real Unwoke on YouTube. Go subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Facebook users in the house. What's up? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. So I am going to react to an interview that Piers Morgan, if you guys don't know who Piers Morgan is, he is a news commentator. I don't know what his political affiliation is. I always thought Piers was like a libertarian. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Correct me, guys, if you guys know. But yeah, Piers Morgan did an interview with Andrew Tate. And let me just read a little bit of Andrew Tate's bio in case you guys don't know who he is. Andrew Tate is he's an American British internet personality and a former professional kickboxer. And guys, let me tell you, I look back at a few of his fights. This guy can kick butt for real. Tate began offering paid courses and memberships through his website and later rose to fame as an influencer. Now, I just want to pause there for a second. Now, he's not just your regular influencer. If anybody knows what's been happening with Andrew Tate, this guy has been under heavy fire and a lot of scrutiny because of his views. Particularly, a lot of his views are let's just say more so manosphere type views. So he has a really strong stance on how men should conduct themselves and how we should, as a society, reclaim our masculine position in society. And he really has some points are very controversial, I will say, but I don't know. Guys, I want you guys to be the judge. So if you're not familiar with who he is, I promise you will get a taste of who he is. Jess, I'm gonna call you. We'll talk. But yeah, guys, if you haven't been following what's going on, he's been getting a lot of heat in the internet. So, and we're gonna see why, because Piers is going to definitely challenge him on his views, and we're gonna see how that goes. What's up, Facebook user? I'm glad you guys are here. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe to the Real Unwoke. Again, not the fake Unwoke, the Real Unwoke, okay? Because we are unwoken people one day at a time out of the Matrix. All right, let's go ahead and pull this interview up, and we're going to go through it, guys. Fair use, of course. I'm going to intermittently insert my perspective about certain points that are being made, and yeah, let's get this party going. Here we go.
A special edition of Piers Morgan Uncensored. Andrew Tate, one-on-one. He's the most famous man you probably never heard of.
I want to say this. Now. One thing I did forget to mention is that Andrew Tate was recently banned. He was banned on all platforms, right, because of his views, his stance on masculinity. Now Piers Morgan was banned as well. I'm not sure particularly why Piers was banned. I know it happened a while back, but Piers Morgan was also banned. So you would think that going into this interview that he's having with Andrew Tate, he would share that experience and at least relate to that. So we'll just want to give you guys that disclaimer at the onset. So let's get this going.
At one point this year, more people were searching Google for Andrew Tate than Donald Trump or Kim Kardashian. A former professional kickboxer, he was kicked off Big Brother in 2016 after a video emerged of him striking a woman in what they now both claim was a consensual sex game. He's since made millions as a pornographer and casino owner in Romania, but it's his online videos that have made him notorious across the world, posing as a playboy with fast cars, cigars, weapons, and cash. He rants about his often scandalous views on women.
Or instruct a female to provide sustenance. Cook.
So I think my sister is her husband's property. Yes.
Tells young men they can get
okay, guys. All right, so he's coming out swinging right out the gates. So I don't know if any of you guys heard that, but Andrew Tate said that he think that his sister is her husband's property. All right. Daniel, please say hi to him. He's crushed. Daniel, please say hi to him. He's crushed. Okay, hi Daniel. I hope he feels better. But yeah, back to all Sim. So he's already coming out of the gate swinging, guys. Andrew Tate believes that his sister's husband, that his sister is her husband's property. All right, now I'm sure he's gonna elaborate on that a little bit more. So we're gonna get into it.
I have 100 business tips I'm going to teach you, which will allow you to make your own money instantly.
But amid global media backlash, the net has closed on Andrew Tate.
Well, thank you.
While millions still
tell him I said thank you.
He's effectively banned from the web.
I got love for him as well.
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. To his fans, he's a misunderstood satirist and the victim of big tech censorship. To many others, he's a malicious misogynist. Tonight, I'll try and get to the truth. Well, some of the opinions Andrew Tate shares in his videos are undeniably deeply offensive. We're going to show you some of them on this show. I think you should see them for yourself, not simply hear what he says about them or what other people say about them. Tens of millions of people across the world follow Andrew Tate, and with a big following comes a big
and yes, guys, he has absolutely the army. He has a lot of followers.
If opinions are read aloud, they can be challenged and exposed for what they are. If they're silenced, the person holding these views can become a martyr. So that's why I invited Andrew Tate to come here tonight, and he joins me now live. So Andrew, well, welcome, first of all. You come all the way from Romania to do this interview.
Hey, Kathy.
What do you hope to achieve from this interview? Why are you here?
It'd be interesting to have a conversation with you. You've certainly been the subject of your own divided opinions in the world. There's a lot of people who would say some of the things you say are perhaps dangerous or toxic. So I thought you'd be a good person to speak to about this subject.
Okay.
I didn't know much about you before this year. And then I suddenly became very aware of you, as the world did, because, as I said earlier, you were the #1 subject searched on Google ahead of Donald Trump. I didn't think it was even possible. Why did you get suddenly so popular / infamous, do you think?
I exploded. I certainly didn't do that with magic. I've been on the internet for a very long time. I think in the world we live in now, as the other side, the people who disagree with me, as they get more and more tyrannical in their censorships and their hate mobs, etc., as standard masculine practices are deemed toxic. I didn't put a magic spell on everybody. I managed to accumulate a large amount of affinity with the male populace across the Western world, because I'm simply saying things that many men believe, think, and feel.
Okay, let's pause. All right. So he said a lot there. So pretty much he represents a segment of men who are feeling disaffected and restricted from saying the sorts of things that typical men say. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's going to expound on that a little bit more, but I don't know, guys. Let's kind of let's ponder that for a second. Are we currently in a climate where you have to, as a man, you have to constantly police your tone, right? Certain views that men hold are castigated as misogynist, right? I mean, if you guys been following me for any extent of time, you've seen some of the videos we've done. I mean, women blatantly will, blatantly make videos teaching other women how to finesse men out of money, right? Dates. We did the video. I did the live stream about foodies. You guys should be kind of educated on what that is. Now, that's a thing where women are pretty much suckering a lot of men out of dates. And all of this stuff goes unchecked, right? This has kind of become sort of a modern trend here, where women are taking advantage of men. And simply, if a man was to speak on that and say, call that for what it is, which is, reprehensible behavior, he is excoriated for that. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that really quick. So let's go ahead.
The problem I would say is I want to play you just a clip off the top. This is from Joe Rogan, who's somebody I absolutely love.
Sure.
And I think it explains to me what I presume my issue with you is going to be, right?
Correct.
And you have absolutely got the right to try and persuade me otherwise.
Sure.
But Joe Rogan said this about you.
My 12-year-old and my 14-year-old asked me about Andrew Tate.
And
My
what'd you say?
14-year-old
What'd you
asked
say?
me, I said, he's a legit world champion kickboxer. I go, I like him a lot. Why do you like him? And I was asking him. They said he says a lot of funny stuff on Twitter and TikTok. He f***ed up with the misogynist stuff.
Yes.
Because if he didn't do that, if he just did the pro-male stuff.
All right. A lot of people throw this term around, misogynist. That's such a buzzword today. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, just for our own edification, okay? Misogynist means, by definition, the hatred or the contempt of women. The hatred or the contempt of women. All right. So I just want to set the record straight, because a lot of people just arbitrarily use that term, and I don't think they really understand the full magnitude of what that claim of calling someone that is. It's, I don't know. I think it's akin to calling someone like a, the B word or something. It's you just don't, I don't know. just don't casually call someone a misogynist and claim that they hate women. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue here.
Most Americans don't know this.
Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Here we go with an ad, of course. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe.
I've gone over everything that's been at the center of the debate about Andrew Tate. I come down with Joe Rogan, in the sense that there's a lot of stuff you say I agree with. You know, I've got 3 sons in their 20s. It's not easy actually being a young male in the modern world. And I think a lot of the things that you say about that,
hold up. So, ladies and gentlemen, why is it not easy being a male in today's society? All right. Oops. Suicide. Hold up. Okay. Where is it at? Well, anyways, men account for majority of the suicides, right? Men are the most disaffected. Men account for the most workplace deaths. We work the dangerous jobs. Men are less educated, less enrolled in college. So I think there's an argument to be said there, you know, as far as men being sort of ostracized by society. So I just want to point that out there.
The problem comes with the, I don't know, 10, 20% or whatever of your output, which on the face of it appears to be blatant misogyny. And when you couple that with your massive influence and huge reach, that is why the social media companies have decided to effectively cancel you. I don't believe in cancellation. I don't believe in censorship particularly. That's why I've invited you to come on the show. But I do think a lot.
And that's what I wanted to say this too about the whole cancel culture thing. I think one of the reasons why, one of the main reasons why a lot of these media platforms will, cancel someone for speaking pretty conservative, masculine, manospheric sort of views. I think because they fear the right to assembly, right? They fear that someone of this magnitude, this particular man, Andrew Tate, has such an influence on so many men that, hey, he could, he could marshal a bunch of people up together. And I don't know. I don't want to say, what if that's a particularly bad thing, but I think that's what they fear, is that this guy has such a massive influence on so many people, particularly men, that it's a threat. So that's, I don't know. Pay attention to why these media platforms are so quick to cancel someone with a lot of great influence, but they'll turn a blind eye on a bunch of stuff on the internet. But Andrew Tate will kind of elaborate on that. So
said are blatant misogyny. Do you accept that?
So you made a very interesting point there. You just said on the face
Absolutely,
of it appear
Kazi.
to be blatantly misogynistic. I understand that on the face of some of the long format content I've made, if you're going to take a few seconds out of hours, chop it up, put it all over social media, accompanied with my massive fame, then things can absolutely not be taken out of context. I do not hate women in any regard. I have no negative relationship with women. No women have come forward saying I've hurt them. I've no criminal record for hurting women. There's no way I can be seen as the face or the devil in regards to how men treat women on the planet. I'm absolutely and utterly the opposite. I believe in protecting and providing. I've been misunderstood. There's been large contingents of people who have tried very hard to purport lies about me. And the truth of the matter is I've been producing content for a very long time. Hours and hours of videos been cut down to 2 or 3 seconds of clip. Those clips have gone viral.
And they take them out of context.
But I think you use this phrase.
Isn't that familiar, guys? Isn't that familiar? Isn't that exactly what happened with Trump? They'll take what he says completely take what he says out of context and just put it, circulate it in some sort of weirdly constructed montage. And next thing you know, everyone's believing that he's just freaking racist. And that's real. Honestly, people, it's because a lot of people today, particularly our younger generation, have the attention span of a flea. So they really, these little clips, these little 2-minute clips, can really, alter someone's perspective.
And I'm not sure that is correct in the sense that it still comes out of your mouth. And some of the things you've said, I just think are blatantly.
Well, let's do them. Let's hear them.
Let's go through some.
Sure.
Right.
All right. Here we go.
This about Me Too / rape. This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania. In Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. You go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988. They'll say, well, you should have done something about it back then.
Yeah, so the point I was making was obviously at the height of the Me Too scandal, and also if we look at Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, there's been a lot of high-profile cases where men have been accused of things they did not do without evidence, and their lives have been completely and utterly destroyed.
Right.
When I say these things, people sit and say that, oh, he hates women. I don't hate women. I think rape is disgusting. I would take a stronger stance on rape than the British government. I think these people should face the death penalty. But
Castrated
to
or
say that
killed.
women without evidence can go forward and just make up accusations against men, even though they've been repeatedly proven to destroy men's lives.
Brett Kavanaugh, right? Christine Blasey Ford. Ring a bell, anyone? This lady, oh my gosh, that was the biggest farce I've ever seen in my entire life. That whole scandal. This woman literally dug up some I don't know, some incident that she could barely remember from like 20 years ago, probably longer than that, and tried to accuse this man of what? Grape. I'm gonna say grape because I don't, YouTube's pretty tough on using those type of words, but yeah, and it completely and utterly can destroy a man's entire reputation. Does that even matter? Does that even matter? That these women can leverage these claims, these false allegations. I'm not saying that they're all false. I'm simply saying, look, if you have been sexually assaulted or raped, go report it, because you have to understand something about these particular heinous crimes and the person that's perpetuating that crime. They have the propensity to repeat that behavior. So if you do not report that behavior, if you do not report that person, there's a high likability that they're going to go on and perpetrate that same sort of thing to someone else. So that's why I think it's incumbent upon women who've ever been, put in that situation to go and report, ladies and gentlemen. Go and report. I agree with Andrew. I don't understand what the disagreement is here with this one. So Jonathan Hill says, yep, I remember the Kavanaugh scandal. Yeah, it was a freaking it was atrocity. I don't even understand how that I don't understand how that garnered so much attention. Like, I get it. The guy was being appointed to Supreme Court, but like, seriously, that's what we can do now. We can just literally pull something up from someone's past, like years and years and years ago, and just throw it at them and have basically the entire public believe it. That was what blew me away. Like, what are we in a third world country? We still have due process here. Okay. You are still innocent until proven guilty. I mean, right? Doesn't that make sense?
That is absolutely not.
What about a woman who was raped back in 1988? And goes
ladies and gentlemen,
then the man should face absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, please like the video. Please share this video. Very, very important for the algorithm as well. Share the video, please. Share the video. Like the video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It is The Real Unwoke. Let me see if I can let me get the link here for you guys. Skidoo. All right, here we go. Come on, give me a sorry, guys. I know I should have had this already in advance. Forgive me, but I'm black. He black. I'm gonna keep playing this, guys, while I look for the link.
Justice.
But you understand that when that clip appears on TikTok as a clip, and all right,
as a clip, completely
okay, but it's still something that came out of your mouth. Do you accept that when that appears on TikTok, a lot of young, maybe not as smart as you, young men, right, impressionable teenagers, will read that and go,
"Oh, come on,
what's he saying here? Is he saying that rape doesn't exist?"
No, I completely. I'm not going to sit here as a professional and say that I can't be taken out of context. What I will say is that one small sentence you've taken was from a 1 hour video where I explained that, of course, rape is disgusting. Of course, everybody should be punished for their crimes regardless of when they happen. But people are not perfect, male and female. And if you give women the opportunity to destroy men's lives without evidence, there's going to be a contingent of women who will do that.
Thank you.
I'm trying to make a balanced and nuanced argument in a world where people have no attention span. They're going to take a few seconds, put it online, decide someone's good or bad, not be interested in the longer format.
Yep. Oh, man. Couldn't have said it better myself, Andrew.
Video. And here I am. No, I'm certainly a person who takes personal responsibility. That's who I am as a person.
Dropping the link, guys. Dropping the link.
TikTok videos 5 or 6 seconds long. There's no content.
Go subscribe. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please click the link.
The point I was making,
why have you said they are?
Because I made a religious point. I said that when a man marries a woman, the woman's father walks her down the aisle, and hands her away to the man. Traditionally, this is what it says in the Bible. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I live in the most religious country in the world.
So you do think that the woman becomes the man?
I think she takes his last name.
I mean, let's watch the clip that you said about
this
so that we can get it in context.
Oh, I see what Piers is doing.
Is her husband's property? Yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Absolutely.
But I've been married twice, as it turns out, and on both occasions, I didn't believe that the woman was being handed to me as chattel, as property.
Perhaps the way the reason I'm asked that question repeatedly, and I'm asked in a loaded way.
Come on, Piers. Obviously, that's not what he's referring to. I'm gonna let him explain. But if he doesn't, I kind of want to chime in on that.
That's what you said there.
Now, that's an interesting point about phrasing. The way I would say things before I was famous, I have to take personal responsibility and accept that if I make a video that 500 people see and 1% of them misunderstand it, that's not a problem. If I make a video that 5 million people see and 1% of them understand.
So specifically on that point, I think my sister is her husband's property.
She took his last name. She married him. She wanted to join his family.
Piers is just gonna hold him to that word, and I'm sure if Andrew can go back to rephrase the way he said that, I'm sure he would. Look, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't mean that the wife becomes the husband's property. Okay, what he's simply trying to elucidate here is that when a man marries a woman, when the father hands over his daughter to her husband, that man then becomes responsible for that woman, right? If there's a bump in the night, who is expected to go downstairs and take the bullet? The man, all right? If you guys are out on a stroll, okay, and there's a few, bunch of idiots that are trying to, I don't know, taunt you guys and want to, I love being my husband. Oh, God, Cassie. Oh, man, she said it, ladies and gentlemen, not me. But that's too funny. But anyway, yeah, so if there was a fight to ensue out in public, who is supposed to protect? Right? Who is supposed to be the protector in that situation? The man. He has to fight for that woman. So, yes, I'm sure he tried to use a little nuance. I'm sure he would rephrase that in a more nuanced way, right? But I think since he didn't know he would rise to this level of notoriety and fame, you know what I'm saying? So, his words might be coming back to bite him a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, you got Kazi here in the chat saying, look, I love being my husband's property. So maybe we need to survey the wives here. Are women okay with being their husband's property? Is that a thing? Like, let me know. I want to know.
Right. So she's
still a sovereign individual. She's absolutely not a sovereign individual.
Property means that the husband owns your sister.
Listen, my friend, if you want to argue about this, you need to go back to the Bible, to the Quran. You need to argue with religious.
No, I'm not talking about anything in the Bible or Quran.
But that's what it says.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I think that if a woman marries a man and she decides to take his last name, that they have.
Hold up. I want to read this. Hold up. Oops. I'm sorry. Lori says the police charged a man with attempted rape on me in 1991, and he got off, even though the judge totally believed me. It was because of reasonable doubt, because I didn't say he tried to grape me on 911 call. He also robbed me. You have to make sure you say everything or they can get off. And thank you for sharing that, Lori. I really appreciate it. And I'm really sad about what happened to you. That's unfortunate. That guy should be killed. He should be castrated. I have no sympathy for any sort of person that would perpetuate such a heinous crime on anyone. So just want to set that straight. But I'm glad to hear that at least you went about it and reported. That's all I'm trying to advocate here, ladies and gentlemen. I've never experienced anything like that. I've never, well, I won't say I've never, but I think there should be a level of cushioning for women for women in regards to how society make it more easier for women to come forward about this. I think there should be some sort of buffer for women to maybe they need. I mean, there's like code words or something like that. Anything. I'm sure there is, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear, Lori, that you definitely reported that SOB.
Marriage, and I believe that
That's not the question.
I believe the father.
Don't behave like a politician.
The father hands her to the man.
Right, but don't be a politician.
We got another one. Look at Jennifer.
Right? You keep telling me you're straight.
Guys, if I keep hearing this,
you regret.
If I keep hearing this, you know what? I might have to. I don't know. I might have to rephrase the way I, the way I talk about a woman and her. A wife being the protector of. The husband being protector of the wife. Maybe I need to jump on board with this whole property thing, huh? But I don't know. We got two wives here in the in the chat, and they're gleefully saying that their husband is that they are their husband's property. So what do you want me to say? Seems like some women don't have a problem with it.
Saying it like that.
I understand that with my newfound fame, perhaps it could be phrased differently. However, I still believe that a woman is given to the man in marriage. That's what I believe.
Like the video.
The property is the word that other people use when they ask me the question.
But as an equal partner in a loving union, that's what marriage actually means. It doesn't mean that when you get married, the woman is given to you as a bit of chattel.
Oh, come on, Piers.
So why say it?
But that's the way that people ask me the question. People say to me, they ask the question.
Hang on. You can't blame people for asking you questions. Surely, if you want to be accountable for what you've said, you've got to own your responses. Don't blame the question.
I own the response.
Be like me asking you a question now, and you say something, and then say, "Well, actually, I blame you for asking."
I understand, Piers. Piers, I understand. I believe the woman is given to the man. I believe she's given away.
You guys are noticing how Piers? You guys notice listen to how like rude Piers is being. Like he's just interrupting them. Is not even allowing Andrew to finish a thought. Like, come on, Piers. This is terrible decorum, sir. You should know better.
All right. So fundamentally, you do believe that a woman becomes a man's property.
I believe she belongs to
my husband looks after his property.
Right. You see, that to me
Kazi, you're killing me here.
Right. But do you not understand why people think it is misogyny?
I understand why some people can be very offended by what I say. What they do is they take a point like that and they ignore all the other points I make the other way around.
Yeah, but that's why I've repeatedly asked you about that line to see if you've changed your position. But the reality is you haven't.
It's not about changing positions. I'm a full-grown adult, and I stick by the things I say, and I'm responsible for them.
Which, by the way, is fine.
Absolutely.
But what you did say at the start of this little exchange, you said, I wouldn't maybe say things the same way now that I was famous. And you've doubled down and said exactly the same thing.
On certain points.
So that is what you believe. And that's my point.
Yes.
I'm trying to work out, look, I don't know you.
Listen to him.
Right? Yeah. I'm trying to work out who Andrew Tate is and what you actually believe.
I
don't want to twist anything at all.
Then let me make it very, very clear to the camera. I believe a woman is given to the man in marriage. I believe that. I also believe a man has a duty to protect and provide for her.
Absolutely.
I believe a man should lay down his life if something happens or his wife's life is threatened. I believe that women and children first are on the lifeboats.
But
I believe that men.
But a man doesn't own a woman.
It's not. No. It's
unless they literally buy them as a slave.
Pierce.
Well, obviously, we're not talking about that. We're talking about religious, biblical marriage. We're talking about something else.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm a Christian. I don't believe that I own my wife.
Do you believe your wife was given away to you when she took your last name?
I believe that there is a process where a father traditionally walks his daughter down the aisle and hands his daughter to this man, and they stand there and become a union of two loving people in a partnership. No, there's no ownership involved.
I didn't say
he's not selling her. The father of the bride
come
isn't selling
on,
his
Piers.
daughter.
No, absolutely.
That's what
he's dragging this out.
He becomes a member of your family.
Is it?
I think we're arguing over semantics.
Right.
We're not, though, because fundamentally, I don't believe a man owns a woman. You do.
Well, I don't think a man owns any sovereign individual. I don't think we live in the world of slavery. I don't own any men or any woman.
Right.
Nobody owns
But when you
anybody.
use phrases like property, that's what you
It was a
imply.
biblical
And so my
context,
point
man.
again
Come on, like Piers, he's dragging this thing out, guys. I'm sorry, he's just dragging this out. I think it's just, I don't know. You guys gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. I get it. Fundamentally, Pierce thinks he's misconstruing biblical context he's kind of conflating the two from a contemporary modern standpoint from a biblical standpoint. So, I mean, biblically, I'm not sure exactly how it's phrased. I can't recall at this second, but I'm sure it's something along the lines as the wife belongs to the husband. She should submit, right? Submit to the husband. I mean, how much backlash we get from that word, submission. Yeah, I agree, Jonathan. Pierce is like all over the place, man. He's extremely befuddled.
You're a smart guy, right?
Correct,
There's no denying that. You're smart. You're a good talker. I've seen a lot of the stuff. But what I don't think you quite fully understand.
No, I understand very well.
When
Piers.
young, impressionable people
I understand
who
that
are
very
not
well.
as smart see things like, I think my sister is a husband's property, yes, and you've just reaffirmed that belief. They think that they have the right to own women.
I understand that very well, Piers.
That's why people think you're a misogynist.
Completely. I understand all of this very well, which is why when you're saying I was backtracking, I'm not.
Do you have any regret, though, over the way you phrase this stuff?
Well, this is the point I was trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is when I was not nearly as famous and I was making long format content, I was not sitting there anticipating I'd become the most Googled man on the planet and that a few seconds could be taken out of context. That was not my
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to interrupt this broadcast. You want to know why? Because I just looked at YouTube and I got 8 likes. 8 likes. Come on, guys. We need more likes. I'm dropping the link in the oops, what is that? I'm dropping the link in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I need all of you guys who are on Facebook at this second. Click that link. Be a supporter. Support your guy here. Okay? Support me. All right. I need all the support I can get. So please support me by hitting that like button and subscribing if you have not already subscribed, clicking the notification bell, because this particular content is there's a concerted effort to suppress this particular content. So guys, let's try to keep this in circulation so they don't have to shut us down here. But please, I'm going to drop the link again. If you are on Facebook, click the notification bell, the like button, and make sure you are subscribed, please. Hold on, let's see here. Lori says, oh, excuse me. Let's see what you say here, Lori. Thank you, but totally disappointed and really do believe in marriage. The husband does not own the wife, but the biblical view is totally right. The husband is to treat the wife as Christ. Whoa. Treat the wife as Christ treats the church. Whoa. I'm not sure if that's what it says. To my recollection, the spiritual order is God and Christ, Christ and man, man and women, women over children. So the woman is to submit to the God in the man, and the man is to submit to the God above. So it's kind of like a hierarchy there. Men and women are not equal. We are not the same. Now, as far as our humanity is concerned, yes, we are just as valuable. But as far as our interpersonal dynamics between men and women, it is not the same. Biology, not the same. Neurological makeup, not the same. Okay. I understand society wants to socially engineer people to think that women can do the things that men can do. Are they capable? Sure. They are. Women are certainly capable of fighting in wars and things of that nature. However, are women likely to do these sorts of things? No. Ladies and gentlemen, fun fact. Check this out. Do you understand why a lot of women, you want to know why a lot of women refuse to vote? Check this out. This is a fun fact. I just learned this today. So the reason why women didn't have the right to vote is because they didn't want to have the responsibility of having to enlist themselves for the draft, right? So if you are able to vote, right, if you had a say so as far as the political arena is concerned, you were then enlisting yourself to sign up for the draft. And most women didn't want to sign up for the draft. So, fun fact, go look it up, guys. It's interesting. Interesting turn of events.
No, but it's still what you believe. It's what you believe now. So what's the difference?
It's not about. You're asking me. You're saying that young people who are
If
impressive.
you said to me, look, Piers, honestly, I've had time to think about this, and I wish I hadn't said it. I don't believe that. That's one thing. Actually, you said the opposite. You said, actually, that's what I think. Yeah.
I think that when
it doesn't really matter whether you recorded it when you're famous or not famous. It's what you actually believe, right?
I believe that a man has a duty to protect and provide for a woman. I believe that a woman's father gives her.
Get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's in my marriage. That's the circumstance I'm going to live under. If people want to live in a different scenario, that's completely theirs. Their prerogative.
You went on to say about authority over women. If I have a responsibility over, I must have a degree of authority.
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason, if I have responsibility over and people are going to use their mind, it's an example, an analogy. Responsibility over a child, I have to have some authority.
Yeah.
You believe
What's
as
wrong with
part
that?
of your ownership.
I agree with that.
Property of.
Oh,
of the
come
woman,
on, Piers.
You have authority over her.
No, I believe if you have.
That's what you said.
I believe if you have responsibility over something, you have to have a degree of authority. Or you can't be responsible.
Yeah, but authority means again that you're the boss.
The point I'm making, if you'll please let me finish
Sure.
at this point. The point I was trying to make was talking about the safety of a woman. She was walking alone at night. And I was saying, well, I wouldn't let my woman walk alone at night. And they said, well, you're not in charge of her. You don't get to decide what she does. I said, I understand. But if I'm responsible for her safety and I'm the person who's burdened with making sure she is safe, I have to have the authority to say, don't put yourself in unsafe situations.
Right.
The two things are linked.
Well, you don't have authority. You have you can absolutely have the right to say to the woman you're with, I don't think you should. But ultimately,
if she decides, then I can't force her.
Right. So authority implies that you have the ability to control someone.
No, authority implies that I have the moral right to sit and say that that's an irresponsible thing to do. And I'm
Thank you. Okay, see, now this is where I have to agree, right? If the man is expected to die for his family, right? The ultimate authority should be given to that man, the head of the household, the husband, right? Because he is expected to die. He has to protect. So therefore, he is thinking far beyond, the safety of just the family. He's thinking outside and long term. He's protecting the family, the fort, right? Now, I believe that your woman, your wife should be valued counsel. Always. A wife should be valued counsel. But the last final decision should always fall with the one who assumes the most risk, which is the husband, because he is the protector.
That's not what authority means.
Well, I'm not going to, if you think I'm going to lock somebody up in their room, is that what you're implying?
No, I don't think you know what authority means.
I know what it means. I'm saying that if
I just a different description of what authority means.
I agree, Jonathan.
For safety, then I have to have the authority to tell not to do unsafe.
Yeah, but authority means that you have some form of control over.
Come on, Piers.
The thing that's different about a verbal vacation home.
Here we go.
You always have the whole place to yourself.
All right. Okay. We got.
I think you're trying to. What you're trying to.
I'm only trying to get to what you think. Honestly, I am. I come with no agenda here at all.
I understand.
Okay, Piers.
And I'm explaining very, very clearly. If I have responsibility over said subject, I have to have authority over it.
Absolutely.
So let me say, you have children, right?
Right.
You have responsibility for them.
No, I have legal authority over my children. That is very different having legal authority over my wife or my female partner.
Completely. But the point I'm trying to make.
So you accept that?
I accept that.
Because you used the analogy of responsibility for a child.
My friend, these are
actually really important things.
They're important things, but you interrupt me every 5 seconds, so it's hard for me.
You called him out.
The point I'm making here is very simple.
He called him out.
You have children, and you're responsible for their safety, so you're going to have authority to say, "Don't go out at night," perhaps because you want them to be safe.
I have legal authority.
You have a legal authority.
Yeah.
Legal authority. I'm saying that if I had a woman, and the question where you've raised this soundbite from, I was asked about protecting a woman, making sure she's safe, and I would say I wouldn't want her to go out at night on her own because I'm responsible for her safety. And someone said, well, you don't have authority over her to do that. And I said, well, no, I can't force her to stay inside. But if she were to ask me, how do I protect myself at night? I would say, well, you should stay inside. That's how you should do it.
I don't have an issue with what
so
you
we
just
agree.
Said. No.
It's the semantics.
No, it's not semantics. And this is where I don't think you quite get why there's a furore over what you say. With respect. Because the semantics point would be we're saying the same thing in different ways.
Okay.
But we're not. I'm saying to you that when you say I have to have some authority over a woman, I say to you, you
What's-
have no right to.
I don't
any
understand
authority
what's
over a woman. You do. Over
what
a
is the
child if it's
issue
your
with
child,
that?
because you are the legal appointed guardian of that child.
Understood.
You're not a legally appointed guardian or authority over your wife or female partner.
Legally appointed, absolutely not. I agree. However, when it comes to things like personal responsibility or personal safety, men, largely by society, are accepted. We're the protectors and providers. We can sit here and pretend that in the world we live in, if me and my wife were
right,
walking down the
Kazi.
street and men were to come up and try and attack us, I wouldn't be the one fighting. But we both know in reality I
point.
would.
Right.
I have a degree of responsibility to protect her. So if I have a degree of responsibility to protect her physically, then the point I'm trying to make is I will do my best to make sure she's never putting herself in unsafe
Do you wish you
situations.
had
Exactly.
to use the word authority?
The authority is something that she would give to me. She would come to me and say,
Right.
how can I make sure I'm as safe as possible?
But I don't want to interrupt you.
And can you believe it, guys? Like, just so far, has anything Andrew said should it have warrant him being canceled? This is all he says. This is pretty much all he talks about on his platforms. And they canceled him. They took him down. They took him off Facebook, YouTube. They canceled his accounts. Right? Just for the perspectives that he holds on female and male interpersonal dynamics, relationships. Like, is this any of this cancelable to you guys? Like, help me understand. Excuse me. Piers doesn't believe the man has authority in a marriage. If the man doesn't have the authority, it equals anarchy, or the woman has the authority. Good luck living in that house if you are the man. Is Piers ever married? I don't know. He's starting to kind of sound like a hold up. He's starting to sound like a where you at? Hold up. Where's my here it is. I need to get. I'm sorry, guys. I need to be better on better cue with this. But this is Pierce. Pierce is starting to sound like this.
Beta.
Let me say it again.
Beta.
That's what Pierce is starting to sound like. Listen, if a woman assumes the authority of a man over a man, right? I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. We know how this turns out, right? Women have the capacity to work in leadership positions, right? You guys have the capacity. But if given an opportunity, given a choice, women are less likely to situate themselves in that particular position. Why? It's because pressure is for shoulders. It's not for hips. I'm gonna say that again. Pressure is for shoulders, not for hips. Now, if a woman has to work all day, and she has to bring home the bacon, and the husband's sitting on his patushy all day, and he's being the house dad. Now, I'm not saying these fluid relationships can't work. I'm simply saying the likelihood of these these type of relationships going down in utter flames is very high, unfortunately, because that woman's going to potentially resent that man. It's inevitable. She's going to resent that man because he has not assumed his male role as the authority. I'm just letting you guys know. The spiritual order of God is the spiritual order of God for a reason. It is not to be tampered with.
A person can give
voluntary authority is not authority.
No, but that's the point.
It's not.
Piers,
Andrew, stop.
Piers, if a woman comes to me and says, "I want you to keep me safe," she is handing me authority for her safety.
Ladies and gentlemen, like the video, share the video. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please go subscribe at The Real Unwoke. I will drop the link again in the chat. Click the link. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Be a subscriber of mine. I really appreciate it. We are starting from the bottom and we are working our way up. And you guys who are along the journey with me, you will be my fan favorites. No, I'll always have a special place in my heart for you guys because you guys were hit with me from the start, from the ground up. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
But do you understand the difference between having authority over somebody and somebody giving you permission to have authority.
Completely. I never said
One is consensual and one isn't.
But why are we pretending I do unconsensual things?
Because you literally say, I must have a degree of authority. I have to have some authority. And the point
only if I'm responsible for her safety. If I'm not responsible for her safety, I don't have authority.
If your position now is that with her permission, I would like to have authority when we go out at night to protect her.
G'day, mate.
That was always my position.
But that's
Hello,
not what
Nikki.
said.
But that was always my position.
So again, I simply say to you,
It is what I said.
Do you wish you'd phrased it a different way?
No.
Click the link, guys. If you're new in the chat, click the link. I just dropped it.
A woman who has come to me and said, "You're responsible for making sure I'm safe." I said, "Well, then I have to make the decisions."
When an 18-year-old boy reads, "I must have some authority over a woman," what do you think he thinks?
Well, I understand that. And I said this earlier when you tried to say I was backtracking, which I'm not doing.
No, actually, I'm not. I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm not trying to gotcha you.
Cool.
I'm trying to work out exactly.
Oh, yes, you are, Piers.
I understand with massive
You've been asking
fame
gotcha
comes
questions
massive
all night,
responsibility.
my guy.
I understand that a percentage of the population are always going to take everything that's said by anybody out of context.
Would you change the wording of what you said?
No, I would just encourage people to watch my long format copy and understand.
Would you tell an 18-year-old boy you don't have authority over women?
Absolutely.
You would say that?
Unless a woman comes to him and says, "You're responsible for my safety. Please make sure keep me safe." Like my woman
now
says,
that
comes to
Andrew
me.
Tate, I can sign up to.
Well, then we agree.
Yeah, but I don't agree with what you said before.
Because you're taking a soundbite from a 2-hour
Yeah, but you haven't been
conversation.
taken out of context because I read you the entire sentence. It's very.
But you've ignored all the context around the sentence, my friend.
You can't ignore a sentence that says, "I must have a degree of authority."
But you can when there's a 2-hour conversation where a woman is telling me if she makes me responsible for her safety, and me explaining, well, if I'm responsible for your safety, I have the authority to make decisions. So yes, you've ignored all the context.
What is so controversial about
Absolutely.
that?
Why wouldn't I?
Do you think that 18, 19-year-old women are more attractive than 25-year-old women?
I think there's attractive people. That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't.
You know why I'm asking it?
Of course I do, but I can't sit here and
for
say.
the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this. In general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet? I'll blow up the internet right effing now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, "Oh, you can't say that," but yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys.
Oh, look at that. Jonathan.
More time.
Uh-oh. There it is. There it is. Jonathan has found the this is the crux of the conversation here. Piers is a
beta.
There it is. He's a beta male. After a bit of research, Piers' wife wears the pants in the relationship, and he admits that she's in charge. Well, there you go. Yep, there you go. It all makes sense now.
And more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up. That is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are encouraging a mindset about 25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex to be taken in a more respectful way.
That would, well, firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
But what did you mean by what you said?
That's not misogyny because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty anti-25-year-old woman.
Anti-25-year-old women we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny.
No, it's not.
Oh, come on, Piers.
Not when I'm saying that women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age and saying the age.
You're saying 18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, than ageist, perhaps, but misogynistic, absolutely.
Is that right? You just accepted it was misogyny.
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's
You
not.
see how you see how, oh, Piers think he is so slick. He's trying to pigeonhole him. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to box him in the corner. Okay, now let's kind of expand upon this next talking point that they're making here. So Andrew said that, you know, universally men basically desire women who are between the ages of 18 to 24, right? Older men typically find after younger women. Now, okay, I said it. That is just a fact. That is a biological fact. It's typically because men value youth, fertility, and purity. So it would behoove younger women to know that information, I would say. And that's why our forefathers would marry young, because, you know, typically a woman is at her peak negotiation power when they're young and fertile. So, and that's generally what men look for. So you know, I know that some people may disagree with that, but unfortunately, that's just a biological reality. So I don't see what's so particularly wrong with that statement. So that's my view. I'm sorry.
Slightly hateful things about if
That's not slightly hateful.
Well, it is. You think you say that to a woman's face if she's 25?
It's not slightly hateful.
So you would go up to a 25-year-old woman and tell her exactly what I just read out.
Why would I walk up to a random 25-year-old
Because you said it in public on the
that?
internet, and it's been listened to and watched by millions and millions of young,
Correct.
impressionable boys.
Correct. There was a large panel. There was a conversation. There was hours long of conversation.
Yeah, he's back, Kathy.
There were feminists attacking men for
Got
toxic
it. Started his own
attacking
show.
me and saying things, and I said things back which were going to antagonize.
But I think,
which you've done yourself a bunch of times.
I think a lot of allegations of toxic masculinity are not toxic.
Toxic. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Piers. Thank you for at least admitting that, guys. All right, we're going to shut it down. But I just want to state on the record here that I think this whole entire interview was a setup. I think Piers wanted to, like I said, box Andrew in the corner, ask a bunch of gotcha questions just to kind of, I don't know, make him look bad or whatever the case. I don't know what Pierce's intentions were, but it doesn't seem as if this interview was done in good faith. It seemed as if Piers had some sort of ulterior motive. So I don't know, Piers. I'm looking at you a little differently here. Generally I like Piers, but I don't know. He's a little shady here, I'll say. So, but yeah, guys, what do you think? I mean, we've listened to this for an entire hour now. So, did you guys hear anything misogynistic, anything remotely misogynistic? Now, we can argue that calling women property, I guess, from a modern standpoint, from a contemporary standpoint, would possibly be construed as disrespectful, maybe. But I don't know if I would call it the hatred or contempt of women. I don't know if I could characterize it that way. I didn't get the impression that Andrew hates women. I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe I'm not seeing this all the way. So you guys let me know. And I agree with you, Jonathan. I wouldn't come back. You know what? I would actually go back to his show because, I think overall Andrew maintained his frame. He answered the questions as eloquently as he could, and I think he handled himself pretty well. I didn't hear anything disrespectful neither. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to do this reaction. It's been getting a lot of steam on the internet, and I wanted to kind of like highlight a few points and kind of give rise to this sort of burgeoning of men being able to enter into these spaces and say the things that men have thought and felt and said for years. And I just think that it's come hell or high water, mainstream is going to have to accept this. Mainstream is going to have to sooner or later, they're going to have to come to accept that men, listen, we can't be advertised to. These are our views. This is what we think. Okay. Now, I'm not saying all men think this way, but I'm just saying a vast swath of men think that they are responsible for their families and their wives and their children, and therefore they should hold the authority. And that's just one point. So, and there was a lot more here we could react to, but again, guys, it's getting late. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have clicked the notification bell. Hit the like button. I hope when I look at my my likes here, I see a bunch of them here because you guys just love me that much. She said, at the end of the day, make sure you find the right man to mow your property. Kazi, come on. What the? Oh my goodness. She's been on fire tonight, has she? Hey, I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know how we end this. How do we end this? We are speaking truth and reality, and I promise you, we will reinstitute morality. Have a good night.